Happy Friday night, everyone. Hope you guys have been enjoying my videos over the past few days. It's been a minute since I've been here to talk, so today's video will not be a video where you will hear any music play. Today's video is entirely about me showing you how my room interacts with the subwoofers that are on the Martin Logan 13As, and being able to show you the before and after. So, and then after that, I'm going to jump into the top 10 myths that I have learned so far that I found very, very important. I'm sure there are plenty more, but these are my top 10 myths when it comes to audio that I want to put out there so that all you guys who follow me can understand the reality of certain things when it comes to audio equipment in general. Before that, so right now I'm going to put a picture of the left speaker. What you're looking at right now is the left speaker of my Martin Logan 13A. You're looking at how it interacts with the room, the before and after. You're taking a look at how bad it was, and then what the room correction did after. The red is really the bad, basically what it looks like before room correction, and then the green is the after. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure you guys see. Now take a look at the right speaker. It's pretty, actually, I'm very impressed that the right speaker measures very similar in many ways to the left. But I just wanted to show you guys what's going on with my room. I think that the results will be great. After I listen to them, I have not had a chance, guys, to listen to the results. I also remember, I want to make sure I say this, the previous video where I introduced the 13A Martin Logans, I happened to have the bass knob at the sixth position. So I didn't have, you have adjustments from 1 to 10, as you can see here on this picture, right? I had it at 6. So it was way past the middle point. So I had it boosted up too much. This is probably why you heard a lot of boominess. But when you run the room correction, you have to put them flat at 0. And then you're able to run it, and then it makes the adjustments. And then you can go ahead and begin to give it more volume when you hear the speakers, to figure out if you need a little less or a little more bass. So in the future, my next video will be with the speakers after the room correction, okay, has been applied. So you'll get to hear what they did and what happened to the sound. I am very excited to show you guys that, and I'm happy that you guys are walking with me on this journey so that we're able to do this together and we can see what room correction does with the Martin Logans in my room. I think a lot of you guys are very interested in the speaker, but you really haven't understood the value of room correction in certain applications. I know not many of you have dedicated rooms, so it's very difficult to, put the speakers where they sound best oftentimes. And that's where I think room correction becomes valuable. Even in a dedicated room like mine with treated walls and all of that, you can see, again, by looking at the picture, it's not perfect. Because there isn't a room that's going to measure perfect. Okay, you're always going to have dips somewhere on the on the frequency range. Always, that doesn't change for anybody. So and could we make it better by moving the speakers? Yes, we could make it better. But the point here that I'm trying to make is so that we all understand that every room has challenges, and this is about addressing the issues with the room. Luckily, the Martin Logan adds this room correction. This feature of allowing you to tune the bass for your room. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm gonna probably upload it either this weekend or if not on Monday night, for you guys to see it, and hopefully you guys like the results. Okay, so without further delay, let's get into the top 10 learning lessons or myths throughout my journey that I think you guys will find very interesting. In no particular order, I want to say this, okay? No particular order. Number one, more money equates to a better component. That's a myth. Okay. Part of the reason why I say that is, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Take a look at one of my previous videos of the AccuPhase E800 integrated. Scroll back, find it. It's somewhere there. I gave my impressions of the integrated. I use that as an example because that example is really the perfect proof that I have for you guys. Here you have a product that's got an MSRP of $22,000. As you know, it comes from Japan. It gets distributed by a distribution, and the distributor makes money, as they should. But then it gets put in a bracket with competition where it shouldn't be. It gets put on a bracket with other components in the $20,000 range, and it gets killed. So you went after a $22,000 integrated thinking it is going to be killer, only to really realize it should never be priced at $22,000. It shouldn't. It really is a mistake. So that's an example of how you can easily get caught with this entire idea that the more you spend, the better it will be. It depends on the component, guys. It really depends on the manufacturer. Remember that. Some products are way too inflated in price. Some products do not, in my opinion, should not be priced where they are. Okay, and obviously I can go on and on about that, but I'm not about to do that right now. It is really about telling you guys, just be careful out there. There's a lot of overinflated, a lot of products that are just completely astronomical in prices, and really they shouldn't be even priced at half of their MSRP. Okay, number 2, cables do not make a difference. I think you guys by now know, if you've watched all my videos, the before and afters, you know that cables do make a difference. I mean, it's really easy if you watch my videos, any of my videos, when I did cable swaps, you guys heard the difference. Cables make a tremendous difference. If you right now are watching my channel, you're sitting at home and you're looking at your system, and you have a, hypothetical, I'm going to throw numbers at you, okay? I'm not saying this is what it has to be. $20,000 speaker, $20,000 amplifier, $10,000 preamplifier, and $200 speaker cables, $100 Amazon XLRs, and stock power cords. You're missing so much. You have no idea how much information. You have no idea how much you're not hearing. How much of that investment you are really, really not capitalizing on. It is insane how much information bad cables leave behind. I can't stress it enough, guys. You can use my channel as a point of reference to see and hear for yourself the changes in tonality when we change cables. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I keep telling you all, everything matters. Now, obviously, if you have a receiver, is it worth you buying a $5,000 power cord? Probably not, right? Because you got to keep it proportionate, in my opinion. I'm talking about highly resolved systems where you really have spent your hard-earned money on components, and you've gone out of your way, sacrifice, and you basically just decided to not go all the way with cables and really just stop there. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. If you right now, right this second, if you're looking at your system right now, and you look at those cables on the floor, and your speakers are speakers like here, the 13As, the Magnapans, Wilson Audio, a really good quality speaker that is really revealing, and you're using lamp cords, or you know what I'm saying, like you're using cables that are just garbage, guys, please, it's time. It really is time. Use my channel as a point of guidance. Granted, I'm using crazy expensive. I understand that. I don't want to get into the whole conversation about, how much money the cables are. No, I'm just saying, guys, upgrade your cabling. Whenever you can do that, please do it. It'll pay off. Number 3, this is going to be a very interesting one. using a DAC directly into the amplifier is better than using a preamplifier. That's a myth. I'm going to tell you that right now, that's a myth. And if you ask me why, I'm going to tell you why. I've done that. I'm exhausted of doing that. Like, I've done it a million times. Again, go back to my videos. You'll see my shootouts. Amplifiers, no preamplifiers. You'll see them. Okay? First of all, here's what a DAC does. Okay? When you connect it straight into an amplifier. It acts as a preamplifier, right? And the reality is, a DAC is always going to introduce more information into the presentation. Yes, you will hear more nuances. You'll hear minute things that may not be so easily picked up when using a preamplifier in the mix. There's no lying in that. That is a fact. But once you reach a certain volume level, the DAC will never outperform a well-designed line stage. Impossible. It will never. It will never. If you believe it, that a Chord Dave used as a preamplifier can keep up. Again, I'm going to throw a preamplifier out there. Let me think. And excuse me for the price discrepancy, but if you think in your mind a Chord Dave DAC is better used as a preamplifier than having something along the lines of a momentum preamp, you have no idea how wrong you are. You have no idea. First of all, the control of a real preamplifier, a well-designed amplifier, is a control that a DAC could never have. Now, of course, there's going to be exceptions out there. Of course, if you buy the $100,000 MSB DAC, I'm sure that has a hell of a preamp section. I'm sure if you buy the top-of-the-line DCS, I'm sure there are, of course, DACs that can really shock you. But the average DAC, 15,000, 10,000, 20,000, it cannot ever compete with a well-designed preamplifier. It's impossible. It doesn't own the amplifier the same way that a preamp can. It does not. It never does. The sound stage doesn't ever spread as big. It doesn't get as deep. It doesn't make you feel that the bass doesn't feel as powerful, as muscular, as control. Everything, the volume is just better on a well-designed preamplifier. Now, there might be DACs out there that can easily replace a preamplifier. If your preamplifier is nothing special, subpar, I absolutely urge that you do that. But when you're talking serious preamplification, guys, you can forget about it in your dreams. If you think your system is sounding better, having no real preamplification, you're in the wrong. You have no idea how much more a preamplifier can add to the presentation. It just controls the amplifier better. It talks to your amplifier better. Next topic, the next one, number 4. The more power the amplifier, the better it must be. Boy, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that. And you guys need to understand one thing. There is absolutely no correlation to that. More power, better amplifier. That is such a false, it's just such a false statement. It's not even, one has nothing to do with the other. It's about the quality of the watts. That's what's the most important. Quality of the watts. You could have a 1,000 watt amplifier sound nothing like a 10 watt, class A amplifier. It doesn't have to do with that. It has to do with the design of the amplifier, the transformer, the transistors, the output stages, the construction. It has to do with everything when it comes to power. It's not just the figures. You can reach crazy wattage. If you go to Music Direct right now and buy their Class D amps that they use for PA systems, you can buy a 2,000 watt amplifier and power anything. Good luck trying to sit there and listen to that for an hour. It's got nothing to do with power. It's more about the design. It's about who builds it. It's about who is it coming from. I've mentioned in the past the Griffin Essence. You know, I heard it at Suncoast Audio. It's outstanding. 50 watts, that sounds probably more like 100, 120 watts. Drove it, all the speakers that were there, it drove them with ease. No problem. I'm sure it would satisfy a lot of you guys out there. So it easily beats my Para sounds that are here. And these are 450 watts per channel. But it beats it not in volume, it beats it in the quality of the sound, the musicality, the purity of the presentation. You can hear that it's got more finesse. Okay? Next one, number 5. Class D is no good and cannot compete with Class A, B, and Class A. I demonstrated that one of the best presentations I've had here. Merrill Audio Element 118's Audio Research Reference 6 SE. Probably one of the best presentations, period, that I have ever had in this room. It had the clarity of the Class D, low floor noise, the musicality of the tubes, the emotion of the tubes, the slam and the bass control of Class D. It had the speed of Class D. It had everything. So I know Jeff Rowland builds some great Class D amplifiers as well. And I know there are other brands. The Bel Canto Black System is special as well. I've had it. I haven't talked about it much, but I've owned it. There are plenty of iterations of Class D that you could be very happy, I'm telling you, with. It's come a long way, guys. I can't stress it enough. Class D is not what you remember. I know most of you have this, you guys have preconceived ideas about things. And we need to be a little more flexible with this. And I will give them, I'll put myself out there, and I'm going to show how inflexible I was before when I get to the end of this video. But you guys got to keep an open mind. Class D has changed completely. I mean, it really, really has shocked me how amazing you can get it to sound. It's the combination, it's how you cook in the kitchen with Class D that matters the most. But to say that it doesn't do a lot of what Class A does or a lot of what Class AB does is just irrational. That's not reality anymore. The thing is that a lot of you guys are scared of trying it. That's the truth. A lot of you guys are afraid of trying Class D and then, it just sounds too digital. It sounds too bright. It doesn't have soul. No, it's what you're doing with it that makes it sound that way. I just demonstrated on one of my previous videos that that's not the case. Okay? Number 6, inserting a component into a system will fix your current issues. Boy, it is not. It's not even something you guys should be thinking about. If you believe, if right now you're having a system that needs more bass, as an example, it's too anemic, and you're thinking, well, I'm going to buy this amplifier because it has a lot of bottom end control. I know it has a lot of bass. Let me get a Krell amplifier. And you think that's all you got to do. You are so wrong. You have no idea. Couple of things why. Reason number 1. Yeah, you may have bought an amplifier that had more bass, which is what you were looking for, but what happened to the high frequencies? What happened to the mids? Did those get better? Or did they stay the same at least? Guess what? That power core you have now for that amplifier, it doesn't like it. It worked for your last amplifier, but it doesn't like it. The XLRs that you have, doesn't like it. Now things sound too bright. You gain bass, but now it sounds brighter. Oh, you can't listen to it for hours on end. That's what I'm saying. When you bring a component into your system, into your rig, you gotta be willing to always understand you might have to make a change or two. Oftentimes, and I've said it before, let's say you're going, as an example, from a Sim Audio 860A version 1, and it sounds good and you've loved it, you've enjoyed it for a long time. And now you're going into a Sim Audio 860 version 2. Same system. 9 times out of 10 that will work. That's definitely going to work because it has been tuned for what sim audio's sound is. But when you change directions completely and you go from sim audio to Griffin, sim audio to, I don't know, audio research, it's a whole different planet in the universe. It's not going to interact the same. You could be closer to the sun now or farther away from the sun, if that makes any sense. So you got to remember, that's something you always have to be flexible about. Buying a new component, whether it be a DAC, a preamp, an amplifier, whatever, a streamer, means to replace what you have. Means you probably have to make a tweak or two, whether it be in the form of a cable, a footer, a stand, whatever. It's part of the game. Number 7, it is better to use a power conditioner than going directly into the wall. That's a myth. I have a power conditioner there that I spoke about. I have the AudioQuest 5000, Niagara 5000, and it's helped me for home theater. It's helped me for my Mark Levinson that you see there on the bottom right. It's helped me for my Marantz processor 8805 that you see there. It's helped me for, perhaps even the Blu-ray players. But I don't feel that a well-designed component like a Mephisto, Griffin Mephisto, or Coliseum benefits from that. Now I'm using them as an example, but there might be other examples of amplifiers where I feel like when you do that, those amplifiers are designed to be into the wall. Okay, when they are built, they're built around your outlet, your existing dirty, noisy outlet. Okay, so sometimes I've had good experiences connecting a DAC into the Niagara 5000, but sometimes it might get a little bright. It might give me more information, but it also adds a little more brightness that I may not want. So it really is system dependent. It's not a rule of thumb. There are days where I do believe, for instance, I believe the Audio Research Reference 6 SE benefited from being connected into a line conditioner, because maybe, I'm assuming the tubes are noisy, so it lowered that floor noise, it got that hissing sound to diminish, and it gave me a sense of more space. That's a perfect application for that. But not every component is going to react the same with your line conditioner. When you buy a line conditioner, don't automatically assume I am going to plug everything in it and it's just going to be better. Negative. You literally have to grab one component at a time, plug it in, and listen, leaving the rest the same. Then add the next component and listen again and see what happened. Did something change? That's the right way to assess what impact a line conditioner has with your electronics. Each electronic reacts differently with it. Keep that in mind. Number 8, leaving power amps on will diminish their lifespan. That is partially true. It's applicable to tubes. Can't leave a tube amplifier on forever, every day, 24/7, right? So yes, it will reduce the lifespan of your tubes. That's a no-brainer. Understood. When it comes to solid state, again, unless we're talking class A that draws 1,000 watts from the outlet, like the Passlabs XS300s that I had here, of course you can't really leave those monsters on 24/7. The room will be on fire in no time. I understand that you can't do that. But if you have a normal solid state, a Luxman, a Sim Audio, a Griffin, which has like that smart bias system, Plinius, which goes into class AB automatically after idling for a certain amount of time without a signal. If you have even the Parasounds here, do you see these amplifiers here? They haven't been off at all since I got them. That's a myth. It does not diminish the lifespan of your component. It does not. Get that thought out of your head. It does not do that. The constant on and off is more damaging to the amplifier than just leaving it on and don't turn it off. I recommend you leave it on, and if you have a line stage, put the line stage on mute and leave it off. Leave it on. Don't turn it off. If you have a DAC, and it's connected directly into your amplifier that's on 24/7, turn the volume down, put it on 0 or mute or whatever it may be, leave it on mute. And that's that. No turning off of the amplifiers. Amplifiers, in my opinion, sound best when they're left on 24/7. There are some brands out there that you don't even have a power button at all. You have to go to the back and find the master switch to turn it off. There's no power button on the front. That's done on purpose, which is so that you guys don't turn them off. Perfect example, Merrill Audio with their Class D. There is no power button anywhere on the Merrill Audio amplifier. Anywhere. You plug it into the wall and the amplifier turns on. You can't turn it off. So because that's the logic. Amps are meant to be left on at all times. Again, unless you have a special amplifier that you cannot do that with. But if you have a normal amp that doesn't require a lot of power and doesn't put out a lot of heat, leave it on. Don't mess with it. Stop turning it off. Don't worry. Your house is not going to catch fire or anything like that, okay? Stop. Leave them on. The next one, number 9. Audio stands, amplifier stands, or this solid tech that I have here, do not make a difference. Remember earlier in this video, I said I was going to use myself as an example of how I had to be more flexible with my thoughts. I'm the first, and I'm guilty of thinking, I have videos there where I had the Momentums on the floor, the Dan Agostino M400s on the floor. I was guilty of that. I am completely guilty of that. Big mistake on my part. Okay, that's just simply stupid. Should have never done that. You know, ever since I bought the stand that you saw here with the Momentum, the Artesanía from Spain, and I put the Momentum on top, it was incredible. Like, it was just insane what I heard. It was just ridiculous, the amount of clarity that I gained. Now, I will say this. Some components tend to interact better with devices like that than others. Some other amplifiers don't really change much in tonality. Okay, but a lot of them do. So remember that. In my opinion, it depends on the component, but I think you should just always remember to have a quality stand for your amplifier, for your DAC. Use, like me, I'm using still points underneath the DCS, right? Some sort of vibration, some anti-vibration device, or a block of wood or ceramic, whatever it is. Always think like that. Try. This is why the Mephisto is on the floor, and it's killing me to see it on the floor, because I've ordered the critical mass stand for it literally 2.5-3 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting on it. But you think, I know now that amplifier is going to give me more when I place it on top of the stand. Okay, so please remember, everything, every isolation device and every stand that you buy will make a difference. Last one, and this is really the takeaway. This is what my channel has been demonstrating to you guys for quite some time now. There is no such thing as synergy. It either sounds good or it doesn't. And that's a lie. It's a huge myth. Okay, there is such thing as synergy. I demonstrated that recently when I had the Nordos Bahala 2 XLRs with the Mephisto, and it had way too much energy for me, and it was too much in my face, if that makes sense. When I bought the Griffin cables, all that came down. It got more leveled throughout. To me, it sounds more relaxed. Right now, I have the Griffin Pandora coming in because, again, synergy. I'm chasing synergy. It matters, guys. If you remember, I can't remember one of my videos where I mentioned this. If possible, try to put the system together first with matching components. Amp with their matching preamplifier and so forth, because it gives you your baseline, your starting point, and from there you can begin to try a different preamplifier, an amplifier, and you begin to measure and figure out, did this improve on what I had, the full combination, or did not? That's the only way you're really gonna know. if you buy an amplifier, and I want to say this to you guys, that I understand I haven't done that very consistently, but I'm trying to make an effort more than ever to do that. Unfortunately, sometimes I can't really get my hands on matching components for every single thing I have, but I am doing that with the Pandora and the Mephisto. And for you guys to know, I will say this, I have another world-class preamplifier coming. Yes, that's right. We are going to do an insane shootout. My Pandora, which is designed around the Mephisto, will go head-to-head against a preamplifier that has almost twice the MSRP of the Pandora. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. All you need to know is twice the MSRP, and it weighs 108 pounds. A solid state line stage. Why am I doing that? Because remember, I just told you, I got to get my bass line in first. Then I can begin to put in a different preamplifier and see what happens with the sound. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 lessons learned, myths, whatever you want to call it. Hope you guys have learned something. I'm going to keep putting videos out like this, give you more knowledge sessions so you can understand the importance of things. And remember, please guys, subscribe, hit the button below, hit the bell button below so you can get notifications constantly. It is very important to me. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, guys. Please share my videos all over social media, wherever you can. I would certainly appreciate it. I don't have Instagram. I don't have any of that. I don't really have the time for that. If you guys have Instagram, if you guys have Facebook, share them wherever you can. Bring me subscribers. I would really appreciate it. It's going to motivate me to keep doing this day in, day out, okay? And again, I'm still doing the consultations. If you're interested for more information, I'll leave my email below. Please send me an email where I can do more private sessions, one-on-ones, helping you design your system, helping you get to the next level with whatever you want to do, improve upon what you have. I'm here to help, okay? And I hope you guys have a good one. Take care now.